Bro, when I came to your
Yes.
church, your spiritual father, is your spiritual father,
Yeah.
right? How long have you been in that church?
Since my matric year, since 2020.
2020. Completed matric yesterday, most of it. I'm kidding.
You
bro.
COVID baby.
For 4 years back. That was crazy. Same age as I think, my baby bro. I think a year older. Yeah, this is one completed last year. So yeah, which is crazy. So what was I saying? Oh yeah, your spiritual father, he spoke something very very crazy. I remember he said, he said a lot of people, a lot of guys, they want to marry, right? But they don't have the finance to marry. And a lot of sisters, they want to be married, but after church they leave early. Which is funny. I find it funny, but also profound, because when I look at how I was saying the same thing to this other girl, this sister, was it last year? She was coming to our church. So she says to me, "Hey, we don't want to get married." I'm like, how are people gonna marry if you always run after church? Hey, how are you gonna receive marriage? You always run, when it's trying, you run. You run. Yes, you have to pray about things, but wait and talk to people. And the reason why I'm mentioning this is because recently I've been learning that as a business world, because when opportunities are presented to us, we cannot embrace them, we cannot hold them, we cannot snatch and grab them.
Cannot network.
We always want things to come spiritually to us. What's your take on that?
Yeah. We are very difficult people as Christians. We believe that if you go pray, then it's gonna come knocking at our door, right?
Yeah.
We are so difficult. Like, if I didn't network with you, then I wouldn't be here today. But I had to talk to you and be like, okay, where is this Prime Art Studio? What do you guys do? Maybe you also telling me about Prime Art Studio. You're also telling me also about your photography. Oh, I've been looking for a photographer. I'm also a model. You see, that's networking.
Yeah.
And with us, we just like, oh God, I need a financial breakthrough. And we feel like a bursar is gonna come and knock at your door. You have to apply for bursaries.
Yeah.
You have to. My take is that if you want something, you have to go get it. It's not gonna come at your door and knock, no matter how many times you pray for it. As much as grace is there, as much as favor is there, but what is meant for you will only locate you if you work for it.
They heard. I wanted to ask, did you hear? But you guys heard. You guys heard, man. Hey, we were supposed to close this interview 10 minutes back. Oh, we're still here, man.
Bye.
Yeah, man. Hey, that's why I no longer say bye on the show again anymore, because you can't say bye on the show, man. But it was nice having you.
Thank you so much.
You having a search of Miss Kathleen here. Big shout out to what's happening. I know she's gonna watch this though. What are you looking forward to in this page, and what's gonna happen? What should we expect from you also?
Oh, you should expect content, obviously. But also, like I said, it's making a mark. It's also winning the pageant. I want to win this pageant not only for me, but for every young girl who's looking at me as their role model, and who's like, you know what, I want to be like Precious. This win is not gonna be for me, but it's gonna be for them.
Yeah. Being a woman in SA, we're gonna close with this one, hopefully. So, because this one came, is one of the things I wanted to ask you during the week as days were passing by. But I also wanted to ask you this, right? Looking at King, is it Orori Singh's case? Olerato, yes, based on the case, and a person who was discovered, I suppose, one thing, who was missing and all that. You being a woman in SA, with whatever that is happening, what should we, how should we guys help you? Because you normally say Matota Masabela, so we want to hear from women, how must we help? Because it's scary now. We are even afraid of wanting to help, because in most cases we we are afraid that are we gonna be labeled this and that, So you as a woman, how do you guys think that we should step in and help and protect you? We know how we can, but according to you,
we can never be ready for any tragic thing that happens in our lives. I'm a victim of GBV. My dad was very abusive to my mom before they divorced when I was 7 years old. And this scar that I have is of my dad. When he used to abuse us when I was younger. So there were never signs that my mom was being abused, until she finally decided that, you know what, I'm gonna leave. Then my grandfather came to fetch her from marriage. And as the family and society would say, no, kuyahlalwa emshadweni. I would say that for anything that is tragic, and as we see in society, men abusing women. Growing up, I had this logic thinking that I wanted a man like my father. But it's until God changed my mind and showed me that love is the 1 Corinthians 13. It's the love that is patient and kind. It's not the love that physically abuses people. So how can you help us? Stand with us in the gap for prayer. That women are being killed each and every 3 hours in South Africa, according to Google. Imagine every 3 hours a woman is being killed out there. A woman is being abused out there.
Yeah.
So it's so sad that also my friend last year in university got raped by somebody she trusted, and it is so sad that we face such tragic things when we trust you. And I trust you, but later on you're the one who's stepping my back. So
that's scary though.
Besides you protecting us, all you can do is stand with us in prayer.
Yeah. Also, I want to hear this from you, right? From a person who understands the spirituality, and as a Christian, you say we must also pray with you.
Yes.
What do you think is happening with the current situations that are happening? Because the number of killings is rising, and it's getting scarier now, because every morning when I wake up, there's a new picture of a child missing, whether male or female. Even old people get missing now. And as a Christian, on the GBV perspective and the GBV side of it, as you say, we must pray about this. What's your point of view? Because a lot of people now, I don't wanna say the way it's gonna come out, but I hope people will hear me the way I'm saying it. I know it might be difficult, but let me try this. A lot of people, they want to put it on men but ignore the spiritual side of things, right? And men also want to put it on women, because on the men's side, in most cases that we read, is cheating in many cases. So when it's like this, how do we go about it?
Can I also say something? It's not only cheating. Men don't kill women because they cheat. Last year there was a case in university, in our other campus, in George campus, that a young guy, he might be 19 or 20, killed a girl because the girl was breaking up with him. It also, as a mental health advocate, it also goes back to a mental state, our mental well-being.
That's crazy.
Like I
bro.
said, that when I was younger, I used to want a man who would beat me, thinking that was love. When we grow up in a society that tells you that as a man, when you don't beat a woman, you're not man enough.
Yeah, we
that beating ends up becoming a killing. You end up going to prison. Some cases just even disappear.
Yeah,
it comes back to the Qoqos case. That is very disappointing, that people signed petitions. People were on protests every day. Even when people were on protests, do you know that other kids were still being raped? There's another case that came out, young one now, precious.
I saw it.
We were dealing with Qoqos case, but men decided to rape other kids during that protest. So when you rape a 7-year-old, it comes back to your mental well-being. Are you well?
I don't think they were.
Exactly my point. So as a mental health advocate, I feel like as black people, we were never taught enough about mental health. We were never taught enough about mental well-being. We think mental well-being is I don't know, it's such a big thing. We don't know that you can suffer from mental illness. As you're sitting next to me, it's not only about being crazy or being mad, but it also goes back to a lot of things. And that's why we don't believe in talking to someone, especially men in our generation. They don't believe in talking to someone. So the best way to do it is what? Kill women, beat
Oh
a
man,
woman up.
that's who was I talking to about that? We just recently spoke about that not so long ago, and the exactly words that you are using. Because with me, how I most of the time view it is that I've learned that there are three things that influence men. It's God, it's the devil, it's himself. And I admire places like Dubai because people who've been to Dubai, they will tell you, well, I don't know, guys, how true is this? You guys can vouch in. They'll be like, porn, it's banned in their website. You cannot access it, it's blocked. So I think one of the things, the major steps the country needs to take, and I always say this, is to stop that first. Who is it? The president of China who signed a law that says every content that is sexualized is going to be banned with immediate effect. So if there was to be a Netflix in China, I'm not sure if it's China or which country that I'll check my facts. If there's a country that as movies and entertainment, it is thoroughly checked and it should be content that's safe. We don't have to see kissing scenes. We don't have to see those ugly things we usually see on TV because the society's mental state is gravitating towards such. I mean, now
it's good, but it's also sad at the same time.
It's terrible because with some people it affects them to a point whereby a 7-year-old child is a woman in their eyes, which I believe something is definitely wrong with your mind. Because if you are able to see a woman in a 7-year-old, then you are sick. But how did it get to a point? What did you see? There's a video that got leaked. I saw once on Facebook and I lost it. I wish I would have downloaded it, of a guy who was found sleeping with a child at the back of a car. And it's terrible, it's sad because what you normally see on porn, he was making the child do it, and he was in a way there was a person recording it. And as soon as he recognized the guy was recording it, he fought the guy. The guy ran for his life. Could have killed him if we would have seen him at that time.
Like, do you have a sexual that's so much that you would go around for a kid?
Bro,
what are prostitutes?
There are people who are selling. That's my point exactly. That you can at least, we are not as a Christian. That's a bad thing. But I'm saying if the edge is too much, at least there's a place where you can buy and relieve that, because that's crazy. But it goes as far as spirituality is concerned, because your mind is not just battling thoughts, but there's also a spirit influencing you to act on a certain thing, which, as we said, we must pray for women, and we must also pray for our brothers out there every single day. I love the point that you raised, because honestly, man, we are dealing with a lot of things. You can see somebody normal walking out there, and tomorrow you hear that this person did this terrible thing, and you be like, when did he come across that idea? But you find out there's a spirit, same as it influencing a lot of people on committing suicide. It's the same spirit that influences people to make dull and foolish moves, and end up taking foolish decisions. So manage to pray. I kid you not. If you're a Christian out there and you've listened this far, thank you a lot. Thank God. I hope you're gonna pray immediately after this, because people are battling a lot of things, and pray for us, because the enemy always wants to embarrass us as brothers, as sisters. You will find yourself being attracted by things you were not even thinking about them in the first place. So it goes as far as prayer is concerned. But thanks a lot for your time. hopefully this time around we're gonna close it, man. Hey, it went out
Because
there.
this conversation is quite lengthy. It needs another podcast. You need to invite me again to
Yeah,
your show.
sure, definitely. When do you think you're gonna come though?
Navo is available,
Yeah, we should do it sooner though. We should do it sooner to delve in deeper into a lot
Yeah,
of things.
because this thing about mental health and GBV is a big topic. If we could talk about it, we would talk the whole day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What other case do you think you've dealt with though?
What other what?
Case.
Yeah. About mental health or GBV?
Both.
Me personally,
Mm.
I've dealt with a psycho ex.
Psycho ex.
Yeah.
Hey, why were you a psycho? Hey, what kind of psycho was he doing?
He had, what do we call those mental illness?
Bipolar.
He had a bipolar disorder, and it was way out of hand. Mind you, at our dating stage when we were studying out today, we started in high school now. So when you're in high school, it's all lovey-dovey. It's like you don't know what somebody's going through. But as soon as after matric, I started picking out from the conversations, that we had, because now we're no longer meeting once a month, at the mall. Now we're meeting every day because school was over. And in case he's watching this, he was very abusive with words, and I saw that it was coming down to like being physical. Then I asked him if he was mentally well, and then he wanted to get aggressive, right? And then he cheated, and then we broke up, right? But he was mentally unstable. Then weeks later or months later, he came to me and told me that, you know what, you were right. I was mentally unstable. I have bipolar disorder. And he apologized for all the pain he caused me. But what I'm trying to say is that, it's very important to sometimes maybe go to a doctor when you're dating somebody. Just go check a few things. It's not only HIV and AIDS that we check. It's not only giving other things that we check. Also check the mental stability of a person. You can also hear when a person is reasoning that no, this is not you.
Yeah. How did you feel about dating somebody with bipolar? What were the weirdest thing you would do, even if you don't go into deep details?
Guys, their mood their mood changes like flexible. Give flexible
Yeah.
Jiggy, they're hot, jiggy, like you don't know which button to press. Because I remember, guys, now he would be so excited for us to go out. Then when we're out, he would just leave me there. Imagine you took me out on a date and then you just leave me there. Don't laugh. Or maybe he would ask me to play a song. He got angry for no reason and just left me there.
Oh man, that was funny.
And he would criticize me being a Christian, although he claimed to be one too, And he would be like, this virginity of yours, do you think that it's gonna save you? And things like that, like, fuck, I'm living.
Yeah.
Things like that. So their moods are very flexible. They change a lot. So that's something that you also gotta be aware of. And if you decide to date somebody like that, even when I would advise that you do a research their mood swings, research everything that you need to know about them, and make sure that person takes their pills.
That's like hard work, guys. We'll see you when we see you. If you don't see us, we don't see you. Don't forget to hit the subscribe, that like, that share, and from I and Zwazwa, we are out. Hey.